Hi, welcome to the China blog. We're going to tell you a little bit about day 5. We fly to Xi'an on this day, but not before we make a stop at a school in Beijing and see a Monday flag raising ceremony.
There were several things that struck me about this visit. One, I was impressed with their uniforms. Looks like the kids would enjoy wearing those rather than what we have to wear at our school. Two, the boys were lined up in front of the girls. And three, they were really tall.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to see tall come into play here in just a second. The kids got to kind of mingle with them after the ceremony, and then they rolled out a basketball. Now, I'm sorry to say, I don't think the Americans fared too well in that game.
Yeah, well, I know Jay did her best, and I think it's interesting, though, again, that the boys and girls are generally separated in China. They don't like physical contact amongst the kids, so I wondered how they felt about our young lady playing with them in the first place, but it all seemed to go well.
She starred. She was probably our top performer. Then we get a tour of the school, and frankly, I was pretty surprised. I didn't expect to see a school that was such a nice facility and so well equipped.
Yeah, honestly, I wondered if that's the way all Chinese schools are, or if we were just getting the tour of the best school around.
Yeah, I kind of wondered the same thing. This was really kind of struck me as part school and part museum. They had a nice library, a nice gym.
They had displays of history, geology, plants and animals.
Yeah, it's kind of neat shots coming up here. They had a bunch of taxidermy displays. You're also going to see a shot here in a second of an observatory that they had at the school. Debbie, I know you like doing these school visits when we go abroad.
Yeah, overall, I think it was definitely a highlight. Just wish we'd had a little more time to mix with the kids.
But we had a plane to catch. And then it was on to Xi'an, and really I learned a lot just looking out the window of the bus from the airport to where we're going and to see a different landscape and a lot of new development, although Xi'an's really kind of considered a historical center.
Yep, it seems like Xi'an is in a giant hurry to catch up with the rest of China.
You know, you kind of get a sense that Xi'an is ad-libbing to the water heaters that they put on top of their houses to the way they string cable and wires on their utility poles. Now, our first stop in Xi'an was at the Big Wild Goose Pagoda. And Buddhism was introduced into China really because of the silk trade and the travelers that came in from India. There's kind of an interesting story about how the Big Wild Goose Pagoda got its name.
Yeah, apparently the Buddhists were hungry and couldn't find any meat to buy. One monk prayed that maybe Buddha would give us some food, and about that time a big wild goose fell out of the sky.
So, what are you going to name your pagoda?
The Big Wild Goose Pagoda.
Very creative. Now, there tend to be a lot of tourists at these religious sites, but
I thought it was really neat how this was very active and lots of people there are actually praying using the pagoda.
Yeah, in a lot of cases they're praying for money.
Yep, or a long life, which from the looks of it, this poor bird is not going to have.
Kind of an odd spectacle to see a caged bird hanging from a tree. I thought this was one of the prettier sites we visited in Xi'an, and after that we're back to our hotel and a hot pot dinner. Kind of interesting that the food was good. I enjoyed this meal. We also met a bunch of people from the Low Country here. There was a traveler from Yemisi, another from Charleston that we met here. The accommodations left a wee bit to be desired, though. You're going to get a good view from our hotel room window and the mushrooms that they grew in our bathroom. We'll leave you with that image.